Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I will go through how I built an equity research skill in Claude, motivated by Anthropic's recent release of a set of agents targeted for the financial industry. In early May, Anthropic released 10 agents for financial services. Here you can see the announcement on the Anthropic website. The agents include functionalities typically used by investment bankers, such as pitch builder, earnings reviewer, and by finance and operations professionals, such as valuation reviewer and statement auditor. Out of curiosity, I downloaded 3 of the agents into Claude to experiment what they are capable of doing. If you have not installed these agents in your Claude, you can go to Customize screen, click the plus icon next to the Personal Plugins item, select Create Plugin and then Add Marketplace. In the URL, paste in the GitHub URL for the Anthropic Financial Service add-in repository. You can then click the Add or Sync button, which will install the add-ins into your Claude desktop app. Earnings Reviewer, Equity Research, Market Research are agents of interest for my experiment. There are other interesting agents like investment banking or private equity that people may want to play around with. Here's a look under the hood of what these agents look like. The agent's behavior is supported by a set of skills, and each of the skills' detail can be found in the skill.m file. The skill markdown defines what a particular skill can do. The different financial service agents can also share skills such as earnings analysis or idea generation. The equity research agent contains skills such as earnings analysis, earnings preview, initiating coverage, model update, morning notes, which are commonly used by banking analysts. The market research agent does industry and competitor analysis. Skills may also contain code instruction, be able to call MCP tools, or generate documentation based on standardized formatting. Now let's get back to the Claude desktop to show how to run these new agent features. You can run a particular skill in the command prompt like earnings analysis with a stock ticker name. Then hit enter and Claude will carry away with the task. You can also instruct Claude to run the full agent such as perform market research on Microsoft. During my testing, the market research agent takes slightly less than 10 minutes to complete. I also noticed that Claude is not error-free. You can see it generated some code on the fly, but then realized the code has bug and self-fixed it. Both agents generate a Word document at the end. I also noticed that running the earnings analysis and market research agents on Microsoft took about 30% of the 5-hour token limit under my Pro plan. Here we can see the output Word document for the earnings analysis. It contains key financial summary versus consensus comparison. It summarizes key business metrics and full-year guidance. It also updates the investment thesis and valuation estimates based on latest data. The market research document output is a lot more comprehensive. It contains 8 sections of analysis covering market overview, industry dynamics, competitive landscape, company-specific deep dive, emerging risk, key trends and drivers, valuation and investment implication. All in all, both output reports are pretty nicely done and can match a junior analyst's work quality. As I dug in playing around with the Anthropic agents, 3 things stood out. First, the agents are optimized for paid institutional data. Without FactSet or Capital IQ subscription for an individual user, they fall back to web searches where the data quality may not be as clean. While LLM output may still sound confident, it's harder to test truth grounding. Second, you can't customize them easily, as what Anthropic ships is what you get. Even for a technical user who may be able to hack the skill markdown to change the agent's behavior, the next plugin update can easily wipe out those hacked changes. And third, the research just stops at producing a well-crafted document. The agent is not hooked up with any other real-world workflows or downstream systems. In reality, the equity research, credit modeling, and credit risk management teams in a typical bank often work in silos and may perform similar or overlapping research tasks on a company. For enterprise to truly adopt such tools, additional work is needed. This prompted me to experiment with building my own research agent platform in Claude, but with an architecture design that gives me more flexibility and extensibility to fit real-world problems. The platform is built as a local MCP server. MCP stands for modelcontextprotocol, which lets Claude call it like a native tool. There are 4 tools in the pipeline: build the company knowledge base, get the execution plan, run a tier of analyses, then compile the report. The full equity research is composed of 14 analyses, where each of the analyses can be run individually or as a whole. The interesting part is the analysis sequencing. Each of the 14 analysis sections declares its dependencies in a YAML front matter block. The system resolves the order automatically at runtime. You ask for devil's advocate and it knows to run 8 upstream sections first. To optimize performance, analysis sections belonging to the same tier run in parallel. A job that would take 30 minutes sequentially finishes in under 10. Cost was a real design constraint from day one, given I'm a solo developer researching with my own subscription plan. I designed a 3-layered caching mechanism, both with the intent to save cost but also with the spirit to later support shared team usage. In the first cache layer, the company knowledge base or CKB, the company subject to research will have data fetched once and stored on disk for 30 days, shared across every analyst or team that might need it. The second cache layer is built targeting a particular research session initiated by a user. Within a working session, completed analysis aren't rerun. For example, if a company's earnings analysis is already run individually in a prior command, the next research command that has dependency on earnings will just reuse the output rather than calling LLM again. Lastly, the data block that goes to Claude as the system prompt is cached at the API level, so subsequent calls pay a fraction of normal input token rates. This makes a difference as all 14 of the analysis prompts share some common company data, so paying them 14 times versus caching them at Claude API level makes meaningful impact. The other piece of the system design I want to call out is the hallucination guardrails. If a transcript is missing, the section doesn't silently omit it. It says so explicitly and downgrades any claims to directional only. And synthesis sections like bull-bear are tagged high data risk because gaps compound across 8 upstream inputs. Getting the data right was honestly the part that took the longest effort in this project. The challenge is not about unable to find data, but about figuring out how much to use and where to put it. If this is a personal project, the 2 free sources I used are Yahoo Finance for numerical data and SEC Edgar for filing text. The Edgar choice is deliberate. Annual report language is precise and legally reviewed. It's the most authoritative source available for questions about competitive moat or supply chain exposure. Python has a library that supports Edgar data pulling, so this comes handy for the implementation. The problem with SEC filing data is it's extremely long. Microsoft's risk factors section alone is over 60,000 characters. You can't send that on every one of 14 API calls. That's expensive. But if you truncate to the first 5,000 characters, you silently drop the supply chain and geographic risk disclosures buried much further in. A naive cutoff looks complete on the surface but isn't under the hood. We need to find a balance between data relevancy and cost consciousness. The solution I designed is a 3-layer data architecture. Layer 1 is the cache system prompt. All the Yahoo Finance numerics are packed into one structured block. With Anthropic API level caching, each subsequent call on the same company's analysis is much cheaper. Layer 2 is a separate 10K data store. The SEC filing text lives in its own cache file, completely separate from the system prompt. It's never sent to Claude until an analysis section actually needs it. The context-aware data injection is a conscious design choice to contain token spending at where truly needed. Layer 3 is what I call keyword-scored injection. When a section needs 10K text, rather than sending tens of thousands of 10K data blindly into LLM, every sentence in the filing is scored for relevance to that specific analysis. The top-scoring sentences fill a 9,000 character budget, so the supply chain section gets hardware supplier sentences. The moat section gets market position sentences. Same 60,000 character source, different targeted slice each time. The full project structure looks like this. The project can easily support adding new analyst extensions such as credit research analysis, risk management analysis, etc. The right side shows what skills are exposed through the MCP server to Claude. The skills can each be run individually or all 14 of them can run together. After register the MCP server with Claude, we can now give it a test. I will first test the earnings analysis skill. You can type equity research earnings Microsoft and hit run. Claude will find it and start cranking. While we are waiting for the task to finish, I will briefly discuss what's covered in the earnings analysis. The analysis is structured to provide an earnings snapshot covering key financial metrics. It analyzes whether the actual earnings reported beat analyst estimates. It provides a deeper dive of revenue drivers by segment. It also performs margin analysis, examines revenue quality, forward guidance, and reviews balance sheet and cash flow health. Now the earnings analysis is completing. The skill generates a Word doc output and report back a summary of highlights. Next, we will test the equity research command that runs through all the 14 analysis. I use the same Microsoft ticker and hit run. As Claude runs the request, let me also go through the prompt design behind the scene. The 14 equity analysis are structured as 5 tiers. Tier 1 include the foundational company overview, competitive advantages, supply chain earnings, components. The second tier builds on top to focus on earnings call, stock price, and red flag analysis. The third tier reviews the company forward projection. The fourth tier analyzes bull-bear thesis, while the fifth tier performs a short seller devil's advocate analysis. Next, we will take a peek at the bull-bear analysis. This prompt builds an adversarial investment synthesis. It pulls together mode analysis, management quality, valuation, and forward projections, then forces them into two opposing views, the bull case and the bear case. You get a pre-mortem, a valuation reality check, and a contrarian angle, everything an institutional analyst needs to stress test a thesis before making a call. You will also take a look at the devil's advocate analysis. This prompt puts on a short seller's hat and systematically dismantles the bull case. It challenges every moat, questions every capital allocation decision, and stress tests the fragile assumptions hiding inside forward projections. It maps structural risks, identifies the most dangerous underestimated competitor, and models what a 20–30% growth miss actually does to the stock price. The full 14 equity analysis on Microsoft is now completing. It generates a Word document containing all the analysis details and report a quick summary of the key messages from each of the sections. Now let's take a look at the actual analysis output documents. The earnings result contains 7 sections containing earnings snapshots, beat-miss analysis, revenue drivers, margin and revenue, etc. components. The full 14 equity analysis output is much more comprehensive. As you see from the prompt setup overview early, it covers basic components such as company overview, middle tiers such as stock price and red flag analysis, but also more sophisticated analysis such as bull-bear and devil's advocate. The full report can be 30 to 40 pages. Just being able to run the equity research from Claude desktop restricts its use to a human in front of the computer. One thing I wanted was a way to act on research signals without being at a desk. So I built a Telegram integration. A daily scheduled monitor checks a configured watch list. If a stock moves more than 10% in a week or announces earnings, it pushes an alert to my phone with the specifics. The alert is actionable immediately. It tells you what happened and says, reply run MSFT to start a full analysis. And that's it. The Claude Code CLI is running in a terminal at home, listening for incoming messages. When the reply comes in, it kicks off the pipeline and sends back a summary plus the word report, all within the same Telegram conversation. For enterprise adoption, Telegram can be easily swapped by Slack or Microsoft Teams to support multi-team member communication. To build a two-way communication channel between Telegram and Claude does require some setup hassles to be dealt with. Let me go through the main steps here. First, in Telegram, you need to search for the bot father to register your own alert bot. You will type /start first, where Telegram will list a set of commands for you to choose. You then type /new bot. Telegram will ask you to provide a name for the bot, and you can try a few names until you get one that doesn't exist. At that point, it's important to copy down your bot token and store it safely. This token will be used to authenticate Claude when connecting with Telegram. After the bot setup, the next step is to search user info in Telegram and type /start. Telegram will reply you with a chat ID for which you will also need when configuring Claude to talk to Telegram. Now coming to the Claude side, the Claude desktop, where the daily watchlist scheduler is run, requires update to its MCP tools to talk to Telegram. Claude desktop will run a watchlist on a set of stocks of my choice and notify me through Telegram if the stock experiences a large price move or is having its earnings day. To support Claude to Telegram communication, you will need to implement 2 MCP tool functions: send Telegram alert and send Telegram document. The first tool is invoked by Claude to send me a message in Telegram. The second supports Claude to send Telegram a document that's located on my desktop, even though I am away remotely. You can see both functions require the Telegram bot token and chat ID to authenticate. Once your MCP tool functions are implemented in your MCP server, you will also need to register them in the Claude desktop config JSON file, as shown in the right box. As I touched upon earlier, currently Claude Desktop and Claude Code Command Line Interface or CLI are not fully connected, and they require separate setup to support Telegram communication. If I want to send commands from Telegram to Claude to execute, I have to set up a separate Claude Code CLI instance rather than just relying on Claude Desktop. So here's the step on Claude CLI and Telegram integration. You need to launch Claude with its channels parameter as shown here. Then you need to run Telegram config with your bot token. Afterwards, now you can do a one-time pairing of your Telegram account with Claude Code CLI. In the Telegram alert bot that was previously created, type any message in the chat window. Telegram will reply with a pairing code. You then go to Claude Code CLI terminal and run the Telegram access pair command with the pairing code. Then run the Telegram access policy allow list command, which then allows your Telegram bot can send commands to Claude. Now let's see how the Claude to Telegram communication works in practice. From Claude Desktop, I will call the Send Telegram Alert skill. On the Telegram app side, we are expected to see the message Research Platform Alert Test to pop up when Claude finishes its run. Now Claude has finished and we can see the message show up on Telegram. Next, we will test Claude sending the research document to Telegram. I will call the Send Telegram Document skill this time and pass in a path to the document on my PC. I am expecting a link to the document to show up in Telegram and I can click into it. Now the task is finished and the link showed up. I click into it and can see the research content. All good so far. To set up a daily monitoring task to monitor stock movement, we leverage the routines feature built in with Claude Desktop. You can create a new routine or edit an existing one. To edit existing routine, click the Edit button on the top right. The daily task scans a list of stocks for price movement or earnings calendar and send an alert to Telegram to notify me. Lastly, we will show Telegram sending command to Claude code CLI terminal. Remember, for Telegram to send command to Claude, we have to use the CLI terminal rather than staying with Claude Desktop. While this portion of the video is not a live recording, the execution log that is scrolling on the screen is what the actual execution steps look like when the same research skills are executed from Claude code CLI. Telegram initiates the Run Microsoft Equity Research command and waits there. When Claude completes, it sends back the summary of research finding, and I can further request the full document to be sent to me on Telegram, similar to the testing you saw from Claude Desktop. Now that we've seen how the equity research skill works in Claude, a few more things worth mentioning on the production side. Cost: a full 14-section report on a large-cap stock with warm caches runs about $1 in API charges. Single-section runs are a fraction of that. A person monitoring 50 stocks and run each stock once a month will incur cost less than $1,000. Compare that to enterprise data platforms that run tens of thousands per year. Extensibility: adding a new analyst type, say credit research, is literally one config file. You point it at a prompt directory and an output directory. The pipeline, the parallelism, the caches, all shared infrastructure, no rewiring and minimum incremental coding needed. And that shared cache is the key to cross-team use. 7 of the 14 equity sections directly answer credit underwriting questions. Once equity runs the report, credit starts roughly 50% pre-built. So what are my learnings building this? First, data quality sets the ceiling. The most common failure in early versions wasn't hallucination in the usual sense. It was the model working confidently from an incomplete picture. No amount of prompt refinement compensates for context that was never provided. I had to fix the data first. Second, architecture matters more than prompting. The decisions that had the biggest impact on output quality were structural. I spent much time iterating through what goes in the system prompt versus what gets injected per call. How sections pass compressed results forward, how the dependency graph is resolved. That's not prompting, that's engineering. And one thing I think is worth nomming explicitly, getting two-way Telegram to work requires running Claude Desktop and the Claude CLI simultaneously. The channels plugin only exists in the CLI. That's workable for a developer, but it's a real friction point for a bank rolling this out to non-technical users. Anthropic's product stack still has some unification work to do, in my view. I want to close with why I actually built this demo, because it's not really about equity research being faster. In most banks, equity, credit, modeling, and risk management each build their own picture of the same companies, independently. That duplication is expensive in analyst hours, and it creates information silos that slow down decision-making. What this type of tooling enables is different. Once equity runs a report, the credit team inherits the knowledge base. When a watchlist alert fires, all 3 departments see it at the same time and respond together. Credit research, covenant analysis, stress testing, those are the next modules, and they're exactly where the deepest silos live. The real shift isn't equity research is faster. It's that research done in one part of the bank reduces work in another part, and knowledge flows across departmental boundaries by default, not by exception. Leave feedback in the comments section on how you would suggest further enhancement to this demo, or any other idea you would like to see a demo for. See you in the next video.
See you next time. Bye.